Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Good evening. Please forgive me for my tardiness. I've been recruiting all day long, trying to get these businesses up and going, but I'm here and I'm glad that you're here as well. We are on episode 41 of Take Me Down a Rabbit Hole. It's been that long, so I'm excited, ready to talk about what we're going to talk about tonight. But first, let me check in and say, how is it going? What's new? What's going on? Well, it's been a fabulous week, actually, a couple weeks. A lot of developments have been going on. I've been trying to, build my businesses and things like that. So I've been really excited about that. Uh, let's see here. I'm going to get into it like I always do. I'm going to get into it. So, first things first, who saw the full video of Gene Roddenberry? I put a short up and then I put the full breakdown that I did, and I saw that more people saw the short than they did the actual video. I'm like, this guy was dropping some major secrets in his interview. It was pretty disturbing. First of all, did you all know that about this guy? And were you shocked to even hear it? For those of you who saw it, because I actually ran across that video on IG, and I was like, because I didn't know who he was at first. I'm not a Star Trek watcher, unless I'm being forced to, meaning someone in the room is watching it. But I really had no idea. And the fact that they were interviewing this guy and pretty nonchalant about the things that he was saying. Now, I did see the laughter, right? But to me, I felt like it was nervous laughter. Like, I can't believe this guy is saying what he's saying right here on camera. And I almost also thought that they wanted to keep the conversation light so that he would keep on talking. That was just crazy. You said, I saw it fully, but I need to rewatch it. I'm not shocked because George Lucas is similar to him, and they both have weird stuff in their origins as writers. See, I didn't know that. I mean, obviously, George Lucas, Star Wars, but not like that, and not with you openly talking about. See, when he was talking about his family, and he was like, it just sounded like they be touching on each other. I don't know if y'all got that same sentiment, but that disturbed the heck out of me. And then him talking about the little girl, I mean his daughters and all that was just crazy. And here's the thing. Yeah, he died a couple years later, but was he ever investigated for the things that he was talking about? I looked him up and I noticed that his daughters weren't listed, like on Wikipedia and stuff. I noticed his daughters weren't listed. So I'm like, where are they at and what are they up to these days? And do they have some confessions of their own? Do they have an Ashley Biden diary somewhere in the cut? I mean, he's gone now, but that's just crazy. That's just crazy. I'm gonna have to look into George Lucas though. If you say he's kind of similar backgrounds, and I got to look into him as well. So yeah, he went into heavy detail and he said too much. Yeah. Once he said he wanted to be a rapist as a joke, I knew this was going to go left real quick. See, I didn't think he was joking. I didn't think he was joking not one bit, because he didn't, and even from the camera being behind him, you could tell he wasn't laughing. And who's that guy that said, oh, it was Bobby Brown, when I was like, who that? They have a clip of Bobby Brown, I guess, when he was on, what's that show? I think he was on Big Brother. And the guy was like, why are you afraid of what I'm saying? I haven't tried anything sexual with you yet. And Bobby Brown jumped up real quick, like, what you mean yet? Like, what do you mean you haven't tried nothing sexual on me yet? I'm a grown ass man, is what this is Bobby's words. And the guy was like, I'm joking. And Bobby was like, well, you didn't laugh. And so that reminded me of that. Like, if he was joking, he did not laugh. Cam the King, my apologies. I had to work on something because right after this, usually I'm thinking I'm going to stay up late, and I don't. I go right to bed. So sorry for the tardiness. I will not make it a habit. So yeah, me neither. Because who the heck says stuff like that and doesn't kill the bit if it was a joke? He was mad serious. Yeah, I think so. I think so. George Lucas got his inspiration from Star Wars from ancient old Tibetan mysticism, I think. Oh, okay. And see, and here's the thing again, they all talk about the same thing because these stars, they know the names of these constellations, they know the stars within them, and they pick out these constellations on purpose. I mean, there's millions and millions upon stars, right? But they always pick out the ones that are related to the serpents or related to Saturn or Venus. It's always the same ones. So I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Said I spoke last week about redacted news on YouTube covering the Masonic and Satanic corruption in Washington. They cover the tunnels and sex trafficking today. Oh, really? Mm. Mm. And see, that's another thing. They're really, really coming out with it. They're not even. I gotta check them out, and see what they're saying. Because I wouldn't have even known about the Masonic. First of all, I didn't really know about Masons and stuff like that. But especially because I used to live 45 minutes outside of DC. My parents both worked when they were in the military. They were both working out in DC. So we took field trips as children to Washington, D.C., to the Pentagon, to the, I've been to Washington, what's his name? George Washington's grave, all that kind of stuff. But I had not known about the Masonic things until I told y'all I read that book, The Symbol. And it started talking about all the symbolisms and the stuff that's etched into the brick. And I was like, what? So, And I'm surprised they're even talking about the tunnels. I'm surprised they're even letting that be talked about. But again, they're coming out with so many things, just plain in sight, and they're saying it even on national TV. But a lot of people are they're just gonna scoot right on past it. Right on past it. The Force is the as within, so without, and the Draconian logic of Star Wars. I will have to check it out again. I honestly haven't seen Star Wars since I was a child, and I don't even think I've seen past the first one. So I would have to check it out and see what the heck, and what they're getting into. The video's called Masonic DC, Trump's Secret War on the Satanic Forces Running America Part 1, and Masonic DC, Trump's military tribunals begin against satanic forces in DC. Part 3 covers tunnels. Are they gonna come out with the information about that tribunals? Are they really putting these people in the tribunals? Because a lot of us have been waiting for a long time to see this stuff coming out. And there's one news channel that every time I kind of log on, they're live, but I don't really know if they just keep replaying the same video and over and over. But they keep saying Obama's arrested, but this man been walking around. His wife is doing interviews. He on the podcast doing interviews. I'm ready to see these mofos locked up for what they've been doing, because it's way too much. Way too much. And the funny thing is, they keep deflecting from what they know everybody else is doing, and Trump is way too big on him. They always talk about his crimes, which I'm not saying if he has committed crime, I'm not saying that that's not good. What I am saying is that we know that there's other people that are into this stuff, that are other people that are running things in the background, and they're just sliding on past, and they just let them die off, without even any consequences. because we're waiting. There's a lot of them that should be locked up for crimes against humanity. You know? They also spoke about the Nephilim and fallen angels and us getting high technology from them. They mentioned sacrifices and named people who touch kids and the power. Oh my goodness. They're going to get disappeared. I hope not. I hope not. The thing is, I feel like they can't get us all. They're going to get some people, but they can't get everybody. If everybody starts waking up and getting onto this stuff and sharing it and telling everybody, they can't get us all. They never get held accountable. It won't ever happen. And that very well may be true. The judgment day is coming though. So even if they don't get it in this life, which I know we would all love to see, they still have to face the judgment. Symbolism is the most potent form of knowledge manifested in our universe that can defy relative cultural understanding of God and existence. Hence the serpent throughout human history staying the same. Oh, I know it. But again, so many people mock the whole concept because they're like, well, how can a snake talk? How can a donkey talk? I don't know. I do not know. But if it's not true, then how does every civilization in the world know about it? Why does every civilization in the world believe the same thing about the serpent? The only people that go against the serpent are the followers of God. Everybody else loves him. Everybody else thinks that he is the bringer of wisdom, the bringer of light, every culture. So people got to get into it. What's going on? What's going on? Good evening. Good evening. I've never seen a news channel cover this stuff. They have the balls and accurate information. They've done their research. Yeah. And speaking of the balls to do the research, I saw one of the craziest, I wouldn't say it's crazy, but there was a news channel that came out with some information about radioactive oatmeal. And they had done some in-depth research. They even got the records from the military and all that stuff. So I'm going to actually bring that to the forefront right now. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about this. And it actually ties into the radioactive fog, which I need to really do a deep dive on because I've seen the patents for it. You come up with new usernames every day. yo, I'm so fly with your face. No, I do like it. But yeah, so let me, because I feel like if I try to move to another page, it's going to try to lock me out. So let me pull this up. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but they actually have some of the victims of this situation in the interview, and they literally admitted that they're waiting for these people. Well, they're waiting for these people to die off. So it's called the Walter E. Fernald Development. Hold on, y'all. Let me pull this up. I had it pulled up on my laptop, but I want to be able to read this. Because we got to get this information. So the Walter E. Fernald Development Center. Now, the crazy thing is that this place used to be called, hear this, the Experimental School for Teaching and Training Idiotic Children. Okay. Now, this was a school for disabled people, serving people with development disabilities. Okay. It became a model for state institutions for the developmentally disabled. It later was the scene of medical experiments in the 20th century. Okay. So this is what they were doing to these young people. The Ferdinand School was the site of the 1946 through 1953 joint experiments by Harvard University and MIT. Now, if you're familiar with MIT, I don't know if you guys, MIT, I don't really hear it spoken about too much anymore, but I just remember back in the day when I was younger and you wanted to get into this type of trade, you wanted to go to MIT. It was one of the premier schools in the world. And then I think they found out that you don't even get accredited or something like it was something crazy that happened. But they even have the motto, mind and hand. And the reason why I think that that is significant, mind and hand, do you guys know the elements that are needed to find someone guilty of a crime? Do y'all know what it is? The two elements are mens rea, which means that you have the mind, you have the motive to have committed the crime, and then there's actus reus, which means that you committed the physical act. So those are the two elements that you need in order to, yes, pretty, oh, well, close. Yeah, you definitely need the motive, and you need the physical action. Okay. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, that rings a bell to me, you know? So joint experiments by Harvard University, we already know what they're on, and MIT that exposed young male children to tracer doses of radioactive isotopes. Now, how did they get these radioactive isotopes into these people's bodies? They fed it to them through oatmeal. The experiment was conducted in part by a research fellow sponsored by the Quaker Oats Company. Part of the study involved adding radioactive iron and calcium into oatmeal and milk, then feeding the mixture to the Fernald students. Okay, so they were absorbing extreme amounts of calcium and iron. The boys were encouraged to join the science club, which offered larger portions of food, parties, and trips to Boston Red Sox games. See, they'd be bribing people to do. 57 members ate iron-enriched cereals and calcium-enriched milk for breakfast in order to track absorption of several radioactive calcium tracers, which were given orally and intravenously. Okay, then they would study their stool and their blood samples. Neither the children nor their parents ever gave adequate consent to be part of the scientific study. Now, when they interviewed these people, and of course, I hate to say this because that's what they always do. Not only were they giving them the radioactive oatmeal, they were also spraying them with radioactive fog. And they did it over a community that had mostly Black people in it. And so the people that they were interviewing were literally pretty much all dying of cancer. And the ones that weren't sitting there giving the interview had already died of cancer. It had been claimed that the highest dose of radiation that any subject was exposed to was 330 millirem, the equivalent of less than 1 year's background radiation in Denver. I don't know how much that is exactly. A 1995 class action suit resulted in a 1998 district court decision awarding victims $1.85 million. Now, I don't remember the people that were sitting in the interview saying that they got any type of money. So I don't know who got the money, but they claimed they gave out some money. The school also participated in studies of thyroid function in patients with Down syndrome and their parents. This study showed their iodine metabolism was similar to normal controls. Okay. So yeah, this is what the heck they were doing to people. And they were doing it to mentally disabled people. And see, again, they always go, obviously we know that they're targeting us, but they definitely target people that cannot fend for themselves. Which, it's all sick. It's all sick. And guess what? One of the founders of this program, he also had a school for the blind. Lord knows what he was doing to them kids. They can't even see it coming. And I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, you don't even, you can't even see the danger that's up ahead. My goodness. The buildings and grounds survived into the 2000s as a center for mentally disabled adults and operated by Massachusetts Department of Mental Retardation. My goodness gracious. And this is what they're doing. And again, I have seen the patent. I have seen the patent for the fog. So I'm gonna bring that out. They spoke in detail about the rituals Masons do to get cancer in the morning and die in the evening when you speak that kind of truth in the mainstream, and they'll claim they deleted themselves. Wow. And isn't that crazy that they have they have ways to give us this stuff. And I don't know why. Oh, I do know why. But as soon as I read your comment and they said that where you can get cancer in the morning and die in the evening, the first person I thought of was Eazy-E. And although he didn't have cancer, they gave him HIV. And just like Suge said, it's a Eazy-E thing. And they sit there and laughed and joked on national TV about how they injected this man with HIV. And he died not too shortly after that happened. Like, where in the heck do you just get a vial of HIV that you can just inject somebody with it? Unless this is something that you guys are making and distributing to the population. Crazy. They finally admitted certain types of canine dewormer cures cancer. The FDA and CDC wrote a memo naming companies now doing human studies to see how it cures cancer. Is that the same? Well, I guess they were using horse dewormer for the CB19. So what does that tell us about deworming? Because weren't they trying to say that most cancer, what was that they were saying, was caused by parasites? I know that they said that MS, multiple sclerosis, was caused by parasites, and that every time that they did an autopsy, that's what they found in the spine of people. So what are we saying about deworming? This is crazy. Yeah, I hate to say it because I like oatmeal. You still eat Captain Crunch. I know they're so good, them little crunch berries, but have that cereal, even though sometimes I want to taste it and I want to snack on it, it really does make my stomach hurt after I eat it. So ain't no telling what they're putting in that stuff. And a lot of that stuff is GMO. What's the thing? Cinnamon Toast Crunch, GMO. And they'll put it on the box, but they don't tell you exactly what. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but they don't tell you exactly what ingredients are the bioengineered ingredients. So yeah, we can't. It's like we can't even eat. You see all the rave that's going on about. I think they said 2 people died. Oh, my mom was just telling me 2 people died. They were eating oysters. They had been eating some oysters. I don't know if it was at a restaurant or what. They end up dying. Then they got radioactive shrimp at Walmart. And I don't know if Sam Walton, the owner, the guy, the owner of Walmart, I think he ended up dying in a plane crash. But I don't know if he was down with the get down or if they started doing stuff after he passed away. But how do you even accidentally package up radioactive shrimp and sell it on the market? That's what I'll be trying to figure out. Every time they come out with, oh, there's glass in the ice cream or there's such and such. How did it get in there? Goodness. And we got to eat something. But I guess that's why you got to grow your own food. I know over in Cuba, pretty much everybody, that's what everybody does. I remember they did a documentary a while ago and they were just showing all the neighbors, everybody had their own little garden. Of course, if you ran out of tomatoes, you can go to go to your neighbor and ask them for some tomatoes, but they all were able to eat fresh vegetables and fruits and not have to worry about being poisoned while they do so. It's just crazy. I'm back. Wait, fog for what? So they put radioactive things in the fog, and then they, take machines, whether it's, a plane, you know how they do it, a plane or whatever, and then they go and they spray it over the people. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna delve into that. Um, because remember they have movies like The Fog and all that kind of stuff. That stuff is true. That stuff is true. Um, oh, I put in the wrong thing. Because they have stuff for this. And see, if you go on the first thing if you type that in, the first thing that pops up is going to be, of course, AI saying, oh, it's a misnomer. It's not really the radioactive fog. They say it's radiation, or it says which forms when clear, calm nights along, allow the ground to radiate heat, cool the air above it to its dew point, and cause condensation. No, that's not what it is. Because these people admitted it, and the army was in on it. It says the summer of 1953 in St. Louis was relentless. Blah blah blah. Um, It was summertime. It was hot. These are testimonies from the people. Summertime. It was hot. We'd run through. They were talking about the fog. We would run through it as fast as we could and try to cool ourselves off. It stuck to you, said one of the guys. It was a regular flatbed truck, but it had a big machine on the back and it had a big nozzle that sprayed a fog. You couldn't even see through it. It was so thick, and it would adhere to our skin. And as far as the guys on top of the buildings, they tried to portray them as maintenance workers, but they had hazmat suits on and goggles and masks. Jacqueline Russell says that she would get nauseated and sick after she ran through the fog. And it had a sickening smell like a chemical. They would get headaches, nausea, dizziness, and guess what? You already know what happens to the ladies. I don't even have to tell you what happens to the ladies. They make sure that they are sterile. Miscarriages everywhere. So I produce about 90% of my own food. The rest I buy from local farms and companies like, I don't know what this is. Azure Standard, GMO free. Yeah. And the thing is, I definitely try to look for things that are GMO free, but I feel like you hardly can even trust what they're saying. Because anytime I see FDA, USDA, I'm like, nah. You say even the seafood is tainted? Exactly. Exactly. People consume terrible loaded foods. Coke removes rust, and folks put that in their body. Their body's pouring some milk in a glass of soda. Ruins soda for me. It creates black hard, a small rock balls. Yeah, they had a guy. They I don't know if I saw it on IG, but he was consuming Coca-Cola daily. They had to pull 35 stones out of his stomach. That's crazy. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up. He drank seven. I don't know why would he do that anyway. He drank 3 liters of soda a day. Who the heck does that? And they removed 35 kidney stones from his bladder. I ain't gonna lie, he did that to himself. I don't even know what that's about. That's a lot of soda. Um, but 35 kidney stones. And remember I ain't gonna say there's yeah, I'm gonna say remember the witches? What do they say not to drink? Coca-Cola. And people are like, why would they say that? Why would they say that? I've seen so many, like when I'm trying to go through testimonies of witches and stuff like that, they always mention Coca-Cola specifically. Like, why would a witch just be like, no, do not do not drink Coca-Cola? Yeah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. What's that crap going in your body? Yeah. Exactly. USDA organic does not mean organic. Exactly. Yeah. You got to read between the lines. A lot of foods have preservatives that are highly toxic. Yeah. So I'm guessing we got to start eating fresh because there's no way that our bodies are going to be able to deal with this too long. No, seriously, I just ate some Captain Crunch cereal earlier and now I'm shooting gas right now. I hope this is normal. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I just know that I get a tummy ache. Someone I know who drinks Coca-Cola every day had kidney stones issues. I'm not going to tell him that's why he got the kidney stones because he's been treating me bad. Oh no. No, let that person know. Let that person know. I mean, there's so many things that you can't, just like I know a couple people that have been put in the hospital just from drinking Red Bull on a daily basis. So, heck no. Like when I see that, I mean that didn't even Red Bull doesn't even sound like it will harm you, but when I see people drinking like what's that drink? It's called like Death in a Can or something crazy like that. Why would you even grab that off the shelf? Why would that even look appealing to you? I don't know. You said I'll think about it. He is a jerk. I'm afraid to ask why he's being a jerk. I'm sorry, what? Red Bull has bull pee in it. Are you playing? What do you mean by that? I don't even want to like what are we doing? what are what do you mean? Liquid death. Liquid death. Just crazy stuff. Just crazy stuff. I'm not drinking that. I'm not gonna lie, when I was younger, I used to drink things that were like it, but now that I'm older, I ain't doing it. I'm not gonna lie, my drink of choice in college, shoot, going out We used to drink Red Bull and Everclear. And now that I look back, I'm like, that was the stupidest thing. And I'm glad the Lord let me live past that time. He said, I don't know why. Yeah, you can stay away from that. Have you seen the Liquid Death commercials where they cast demons into the drink? No, I have not. No, I have not. See, that's what? But it's going to get past a lot of people because a lot of people don't believe in demons and stuff. They just think it's a figment of people's imagination. Wow, I got to look that up. That's crazy. There's always one wild, is it segue in these I know, right? I know. I'm like, how do we even get here? It's all good. Oh. Not playing, look into the ingredients into Red Bull secretion in there. Oh my goodness, I'm about to look it up right now. This is nasty. I will never drink. I mean, I don't try to drink Red Bull. I really just don't. But I will never touch a Red Bull again. Bull pee, like so. Oh man, I'll be having so many questions. So they say, okay, so I don't even know what this is. So I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up next. But then, so it says Red Bull confirms on its website that Red Bull does contain taurine, but the taurine is not made from the bull's testicles. So what the hell? I'm so flabbergasted right now. I'm so flabbergasted. Okay, so they're claiming that taurine occurs naturally in foods with proteins such as meat or fish. The human body uses taurine for action in cells. One example is that taurine is used for energy production. Taurine also helps the body process bile acid and balance fluids, salts, and minerals. Oh my goodness. Now, wow. I don't even know how. So, how did, oh my goodness, how did the bull's testicles even get in the conversation if it wasn't regarding bull's testicles? See, like, how did they even get to that point? Y'all got to let me know. I don't know anything about this. Why are they even, you know what? Oh my goodness, I gotta, y'all baffle me every week with something. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, they was doing that. What Little Wayne drinks, aka syrup, is basically liquid heroin. Is that why yeah, he's been on that for a long time. And is that why he looks the way that he does right now? Because if so, like, he should be the poster guy for not drinking syrup. Because I think even 3 6 Mafia, the ones who sing sipping on some syrup, I think even they quit sipping on some syrup. So yeah, like, is that what happens? Is Lil Wayne, is his look what happens when you stay on this stuff too long? I would imagine so, because look at heroin users. Goodness. It makes it fun. I guess so. I remember the very first time I drank Red Bull was at a track meet. And I'm not a 400 runner. I used to run the 100 and the 200 and the 4x1, 4x2. And that day I wanted to run the 400. I was begging my coach, like, let me run it. Let me run it. She was like, no, like, this is not even your event. What are you talking about? But it did give me energy. It didn't give me energy after that. I can't say that I ever felt having energy after that, but maybe because I was mixing it with alcohol. But yeah, no, never again. The commercials are of a lady performing a ritual over the drink. Oh my goodness, I gotta look this stuff up. Is this an old commercial or is this something that mm-mm-mm. Crazy stuff? Ew. I know, right? Wait, bull pee? Damn, that's some heavy, strong piss. Exactly. Ew. I don't even want to. Mm-mm-mm. I don't even. Mm-mm, mm-mm. It's way too much. You'd be surprised how they get it out. I bet that they jack off the cow. I mean, the cows, the bulls. I bet that they are playing with their junk. Yeah, that's what. See, before I even read your comment, it's a gland in their junk. They get it from. See, that's one thing I ain't gonna lie. It's I can't really talk too much about that topic. I can't. Just that whole animal and people situation. I can't. And I know that there's a viral video going on right now because this lady is on camera doing it with her dog, and they have it for you to watch, and I'm not gonna do it. I am not going to do it. Just the mere thought of it is just too much. They say there's a small amount of pee in every extraction. Oh my goodness. I just don't know anymore. Yeah, I just don't know anymore. That's probably why you get wired when you drink Red Bull. Has yeah. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. That's sad because Lil Wayne was pretty fit and in shape with healthy, cool, healthy dreads back in the day. See, I was trying not to bring up the threads. I mean, the dreads. I think I just said threads because they literally look like they're hanging on by a thread. But yeah, and he's got way too much money to be letting them go like that. He said, "No, I'm saying the wild segue makes the live. Oh yeah, the live stream fun. No, I got you. Not drinking Red Bull. I crashed badly after that stuff. Yeah. Mm-mm. Syrup is liquid codeine. Yeah, 100 times weaker than heroin. And on codeine, you don't go 16.5 days without pooping. Oh, I'm sorry, they're going without pooping on syrup on heroin. That's not good. I mean, I know you know that, but that's not good. Sloths die like that. That's one of the main causes of their deaths is when they get constipated and can't relieve themselves. That's crazy. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be able to see it when I get off of here because I'm looking. They got it. They're calling it witch's brew and all that kind of stuff. The commercial is a lady playing a witch chanting into the drink. Yeah, no, I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to let some people know because I know some people that are still drinking Red Bull. I don't know if they're gonna care, but I'm gonna tell them anyway. I just flinched heavy. I saw a video today of a guy arrested for jacking his dog off. The cop asked how many times he'd done it. He said, "I haven't had sex in 5 years. I don't have a female dog for him, so I relieve him weekly." Wait, he doesn't. He hasn't had sex in 5 years, or the dog hasn't had sex in 5 years. I'm sorry to say this, and maybe sorry if your dog is one, gets in the way. But what happened to letting him run loose and go and impregnate one of the female dogs in the neighborhood? Like, what? Why do you have to be the one? And I don't know if I've said this on the live before, but One of the clauses in the Don't Ask, Don't Tell for the military that Obama passed um, allowed bestiality to be legal in the military. Now, why? I don't know. But that just goes to show how sick these people are. If you've ever, wait a minute, I don't know what this is going to say. If you've tried Red Bull, you quite literally can place yourself in R. Kelly's shoes. What does that mean? No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah. I pay attention. The symbolism ain't nothing going on in my body called liquid death. Yeah, not at all. And if I'm mistaken, weren't people dying from drinking it? Let me look that up. I thought they were actually dying. No, I get well, they're not really saying it. They're actually coming out with more of them. See, no. Mm-mm. I'll stick with sweet tea. Yeah, I'll stick with my sweet tea. Oh my gosh, drinking Red Bull while singing R. Kelly songs on the world's greatest. Y'all are so silly. The guy, he said he didn't want his dog to feel the loneliness he felt. I was like, damn, I would hate to be the person to adopt that dog. He's going to expect a treat. Oh my goodness, from now that he's had it. And I don't, and that's so sad. I wouldn't want, that's sad. That's sad. Loneliness is a real thing. And, that's really sad that you felt like you had to go to that extreme. And I don't know, and I'm not trying to talk about anybody, right? I don't know what happens, but are you not getting out there? Are you not speaking to people? I mean, are you keeping your how do you because there's a lot of women, I'm pretty sure they're looking for someone too. I just don't and unfortunately I think they just put out the stats for the suicide rates um this year and it was really high. It was above like 40%. Nearly 12 men lose their lives to suicide every day, approximately 4,200 suicides each year. Male deaths represent 79% of suicides, y'all, amounting to roughly 100 men dying by suicide every day. That's crazy. Wait, how did they get there? Uh, how did they get to? They just told us 4,200, and then they got to over three, over 36,000 annually. Wow, that don't even. Mm-mm. And don't get me wrong, they're not just doing it because of suicide. I just saw a guy say they claimed that he took himself out because he had failed the what's the medical exam to be a doctor. He had failed the board or whatever twice. I'm like, dang, you couldn't take it again. You couldn't. That's not. Was that not an option? I mean, we got to do better. Wait, did he really? Joe Biden admitted to jacking off his dog. See, I can't. I mean, he's nasty anyway. So, since Red Bull gives you wings, you'll also be singing. Fly. That's crazy. Men aren't needed in America and are useless if they ain't got a lot of money, to be honest. So, what's the point? Really? I mean, I guess that's a sentiment that's put out there, but there's people with brain, there's people with bronze, there's handy people that I'm pretty sure do not have a lot of money. And see, the thing is, when you, I don't know, I guess I'm just at the point where I'm learning to see the value in people that money can't buy. You know what I mean? There's things that money just can't give you. And once you start to learn that, especially about people, you just start respecting them a lot more. Yeah, I can agree with that. That's a standard that we set in modern times. Yeah, but it's not going to have a lot of money, you know. Some people should be locked up, padded rooms who thinks they have to pledge their dog. Guy said once I put the glove, he jumps up. Oh my gosh, up on the couch and knows it's time. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no, no. Uh I don't even want to say this because that dog needs to be put. I feel like that dog needs to be put down. He's been corrupted so much, and like you said, he's not going to be able to be adopted by anybody else because he's going to be expecting that. And then what's going to happen if he doesn't get it? That's just crazy. That's just the nastiest thing ever. You got to be kidding me. Literally, I'm out here in the streets. Trust, that's the issue. And if your girl got more bread than you, she run the show and don't have to respect you. Hence why I'm single, because that's wild. Um, And well, why do y'all think that is? Why do you think that we've come to a point in society where people feel like it's a shame and a sin and a shame to work together? If one person makes 30,000 a year, the other person makes 70,000 a year, that isn't that $100,000 in your household? I don't see why it has to be my money, your money. You know what I mean? Like, how do we get to this point? How do we get to this point? Mm-mm, no. Yeah, saying society is tainted. There is just tainted. And I can see that, and I watch a lot of podcasts, so I know that's the sentiment that, people are giving off. And guess what? They brought it on themselves. And now they're complaining, oh, the men aren't showing up to the bars, they're not showing up here and there. Like, well, why would they now? You told him he ain't nothing if he don't have enough money. Overall, don't mind me. I'm just joking around and trying to bring laughter. Oh, we don't mind. We talk about any and everything. Let me not say all women, of course, think this way because we've objectified women, so now women have a price at which of men can't afford them. They don't have to have access to premium femininity. Oh, I know. Um, you know, I'm looking at these people saying, "Oh, you need to put down a deposit to talk to me." One lady was talking about how you needed $1,000 in order to talk to her. Like, where did you? How did we get here? $1,000? Why would somebody just hand you $1,000 to be able to talk to you? Where and most people, what's minimum wage these days? Sorry, y'all, if I don't really know because I know they upped it. Okay, so the federal minimum wage is 7.25 an hour. That person would have to work 137 hours. Actually, 137.9. So doggone near 138 hours in order to talk to you. People are working 40 hours a week for the most part. That's 3.448275862 worth of work just to talk to you? No. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. So now if a man in America is literally worth less, and what's the point in living if no, what's the point of living if I'm viewed as less than? This suicide sounds nice to some degree. Heck no, it don't. Because guess what? Do you have time to repent? Nope. So when you get to the judgment, what you gonna say? Mm-mm. And guess what? I mean, I don't know. Just because everybody else might be, I'm not going to say everybody else. Everybody's not going to view you as worthless. There are people that work, shoot, minimum wage jobs, or, jobs that don't make a whole lot of money, that are quite content, you know? So I know, right? Yeah. $7 in Ohio and Indiana. Yeah. And I mean, that's come a long way, because it used to be a lot less than that. She's probably on state herself. Yeah. And most of them are. That's why they're looking for somebody to pay them $1,000 in order to talk to them. Because if you had $1,000, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't be too much worried if another person had it or not. So, the main reason why men don't go to sports bars and clubs because of the bad economy. It's a money issue. It's today's society. Trust me. If men were making money, they'd still be in the clubs drinking. I mean, that very well might be it, but I heard like even the OnlyFans, they weren't even paying for OnlyFans right now. So I didn't know if it was the economy, excuse me, or if they were just getting tired of paying for it. No, I'm saying in their shoes, it seems peaceful and bliss. Of course, that I know the spiritual and bigger picture is not speak. Oh, okay. Okay. Just listen, I get concerned. Because like I said, that's a big number. That's a big number. Can't be doing that. Any female I'm talking to, I tell Shorty right away, I ain't got the bread like that right now. God got me in the wilderness at the moment. I know that's right. I remember this was kind of when my business was on the outs. Well, my other businesses were on the out. And I had pulled up to the light one time, and there's this ministry that usually hangs out in the streets, and I usually give to them, but that day I ain't have it. I didn't have it to the point where the lady was asking me if I wanted some of the donations that people had given them. I was like, no, I'll be all right. But I told her, no, I'm broke right now. And she said, do not say you're broke. Say that you're in between money. So I like the fact that you said you're in the wilderness. I agree with that. And nowadays I'm like, if I am, I'm like, I'm in between money. I'm in between money. Yeah, I know. He said I would never commit suicide, but if God don't wake me up, I'm cool with it. Yeah, I mean, you definitely get some rest from this world. Definitely won't get this rest. Is anybody from California? I need to know a thing about Lucifer's Pizza in LA. I need to know what's going on out there. And so I just told someone earlier, and she's still cool. I said, dang, it ain't scare you away. Listen, you better see what she's talking about. You better see what she's talking about. Ill now, but I want to visit some peeps out there. Yeah. I've been to LA, very, very beautiful place. I'll be honest about that. I know it's a cesspool now. I don't know if it was that bad. I mean, obviously with, what's going on in actual Hollywood, I know that's going on there, but they actually had a video where somebody was showing that kind of on the hill next to The Hollywood sign, they have a big blood drop, kind of like a statue, but it's a blood drop. Have y'all seen that? Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. So they're serious out there. If y'all haven't seen it, I'll post a picture of it. Um yeah, when I get off here, I'll have to post a picture of it. From the Midwest, okay. Okay. My so my I know this is weird, but my biological father is Chicago, and my dad is from Chicago as well. No, they're not together. No, they're not together. my, my mom just happened to, so I guess she liked people from Chicago. I didn't look into the blood vessel issue I showed you on Patreon yet. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely like to see that. Y'all both from Chi-Town? Oh, that's nice. Awesome sauce. I was actually supposed to be there this past spring for a family reunion, but I couldn't make it out there. I was working and trying to get my life together because I just met that side of the family recently. But yeah, so I guess they're plain sight. And I don't remember, actually don't, maybe I didn't know about it. I didn't know about this stuff when I went to LA. And now it's got me thinking, dang, was it there the whole time? Because I got a picture of the Hollywood sign, but I can't say that I've seen that. Mm-mm. So, I'm gonna segue subliminals. Just short on the subliminals in Disney. Were y'all aware of those things? And what are some subliminals that you've seen in movies that maybe most people wouldn't know about, or most people you think most people haven't seen? Because I've known about the Little Mermaid for a long time. I've known about, and you know what I didn't put in there? I did not put in Fantasia. Fantasia is literally a car. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Fantasia, not the singer, but Disney's Fantasia. But it's literally a cartoon about demon possession. Like there's this big black spirit looking thing that's floating around and yeah, causing havoc. But yeah, Disney did, yeah, they do have a lot of subliminals. And see, the thing is, you can't, they, once people start talking about it, then they change it. And it's almost as if it never ever happened. So again, one of those Mandela effects, you got to literally have the old school stuff. You have to have the VHS with it actually on there, because they can even change these DVDs real quick and these Blu-rays real quick. Yeah, he's like this character. Yeah, and the whole time in Fantasia, Mickey has on a witchcraft hat. Well, I would say like a wizard hat because it's not like the black rim, but ones that you would see a wizard wear. So I haven't seen the movie in a while, but now knowing what I know now, I'm like, man, I need to go back and watch that and see what they were really teaching in that film. And it's called Fantasia's The Sorcerer's Apprentice. So that just lets you know what they were on. Yeah, it's an old movie. It literally came out in 1940. And I just remember, you know, being at the babysitters or whatever at the daycare, and they would play this movie all the time. And when I was younger, I don't know what this stuff means at all. So yeah, they've been on it for a long time. The Sorcerer's Apprentice. And Duck. See, I need to. Well, it's probably going to be tied to the video on Egypt, but I mean, what do you all know about sacred geometry? Because that was one of the big, um, I guess, sciences, if you want to call it that, that was in the Donald Duck cartoon. I wonder how many children saw these films and picked up and started wanting to do that. You said, "Wow, that's old. I need to watch it." Yeah, I guess just to see what they were talking about back then, and for them to lie and say that, oh, I should say it's lie, but for them to act as though Walt Disney had no ties to Freemasonry, but then you see the schools and stuff that he was a part of. Like, come on now, come on. Mm-mm. Sacred geometry is still present today, and more people are into it, I believe. Yeah, especially what's the, I want to say, it's not the five percenters, is it? I feel like Erica Badu is part of that sect of witchcraft that's into that stuff. I just don't know if it's the five percenters that are into it. That sacred geometry is symbolism for alchemy. I think that is the math behind taction energy, or the light or dark energy that is within human pineal gland that governs the minds of men. I've never heard of that. The is Hold on, let me look that up. Taction energy. Oh, okay, I found it. Okay, y'all, let's see what this is. We're learning something new. I'm guessing it's pronounced tachyonic particle. It's a hypothetical particle that always travels faster than light. Physicists posit that faster than light particles cannot exist because they are inconsistent with the known laws of physics. If such particles did exist, they perhaps could be used to send signals faster than light and into the past. According to the theory of relativity, this would violate causality, leading to the logical paradoxes such as the grandfather paradox. Tachyons would exhibit the unusual property of increasing the speed as their energy decreases and would require infinite energy to slow to the speed of light. Okay. I wonder how that. Okay, see, now I'm going to have to find out how that relates to the pineal gland. In September 2011, it was reported that a tau neutrino had traveled faster than the speed of light. However, later updates from CERN on the Opera experiment indicate that the faster than light readings were due to faulty element of the experiment's fiber optic timing. Hmm. Sorry, I'm going to see if they're gonna pull this up. Okay. Hold on just a second. Planet Tachyon. It looks like this is even connected to. It looks like it's also connected to aura. The I don't want to call it a science, but I'm gonna have to read into this more. In conclusion, I'm just going to read the conclusion. The human energy photos captured using aura cameras provide tangible evidence of energizing effects of tachyon energy on our subtle energy fields. The visual representation of increased balance and expansion in the aura after exposure to tachyonized energy antennas is a testament to the transformative potential of tachyon energy. Okay, so pretty much it's an energy that's supposed to be on the subatomic level and permeates all matter and energy, and it's associated with healing and vitality. And I guess this particular energy they claim that they're able to capture on camera, and that's the so-called aura, or the specific color that everyone radiates depending on the type of energy they have. Oh my goodness. See, I've always heard about aura, but um this whole tachyon energy, I've never heard that being mentioned. By embracing tachyon energy and incorporating it into our lives, we have the opportunity I can't talk today, to harmonize our energetic bodies, promoting overall well-being and vitality. Whether we seek physical, emotional, or spiritual balance, tachyon energy offers a fascinating avenue to explore and enhance our connection with the subtle energies that shape our existence. Mm. They want to connect with every energy except for the life force that created us all. Like, let's get for real. Is do you has anyone felt that they've seen someone's aura? I haven't heard anyone talk about aura in a long time, but I have been told that someone could see my aura once, and of course I dismissed it because that's just not my thing. But do you feel like you've seen, or do you know someone who claims to see aura? So I'll put that question out there, and I'll read through these comments. I studied sacred geometry for years. It's super occultic. I bet. I bet. And I really want to do a deep dive into it to really bring out what it's all about, and I'm going to. But yeah, I've been hearing about it for years. And like I said, I know a lot of stuff. Geometry, listen, me and geometry did not get along in school. And again, it's just crazy that this is the stuff that they were teaching us, knowing that it was tied to the occult. Freemasons know more about sacred geometry. Yeah. I just remember there being another, I guess you would call it a religion, that believes in it too. was floating underwater with $3.06. I feel like she sung about that stuff. Tachyon energy, from what I've been researching, is the world's interpretation behind what the Bible says as the power of the word that holds all things together. Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that now. I need to see how they've tried to tie it in, because I'm a firm believer that these people know these things. You know how what's the scripture that says that they? Let me bring it up. I hate quoting scripture and not knowing exactly what it says, but they say God, forces of forces. I always know like keywords to find it, but not the okay. So it says, and the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and speak marvelous things against the God of gods, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished, for that is determined shall be done. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all. But in his estate shall he honor the God of forces, and a God whom his fathers did not know. So when he says the God of forces, I always think about all the times, I mean, even from atoms to like we're talking about now, tachyon energy. These are things that these people acknowledge, and they make it their God as if that's what created everything, but they forget the God of gods. So yeah, I got to see how they tie that in, the power of his word. Because again, I always, man, I ain't gonna get into it tonight. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Sometimes it's a headache hurting, and 60 plus chickens at night. I made a 12-foot push pole to give the walking chicken nuggets some motivation to stop hiding under the tractors. Too cute. And don't they have I thought they had, I mean, I don't know if you have one, but I know they had different animals that kind of help out with the chickens too. Okay, so yeah, it's aura in different words. Yeah. I've been studying this rabbit hole for the last week. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on it too, because I gotta see how this ties in to the power of the word of God. I gotta see it. Sacred geometry is all over the old churches across Europe. I took a trip in 2015 going to all the places. The CIA articles on aura describe it as a magnetic force rotating around cardinal directions inside your body. Mm. And I'm guessing, because you know how they say how there's different colors associated with it. I guess the reason why they feel that way is because of the magnetic spectrum and the way that we can see light. All different colors vibrate at a certain wavelength, and it makes us, be able to see it. So I'm guessing that's how that ties into how they feel about aura. Again, I've never seen someone's quote unquote aura. So I just want to, how do they get to the point where that's what they see? So I have questions. But I'll delve into it. I'll post it. I'll post the research. We'll pick this out. I run for the hills when she starts talking about energy and aura. I know she's batshit crazy. Yeah, I agree. Because I really don't understand what I don't know. I ain't gonna get into it tonight, but I don't understand what's meant by energy. Yes, I've had 3 people come up to me before and say I had good or nice spirit or energy. I was freaked out because they looked at me like they were hypnotized. Oh, mm. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard people say, yeah, I can tell you have a good spirit. I've heard that. Um, Again, haven't heard the aura thing in a while. I told you about that witch in Louisiana that says she can see my aura. And do I want to pay? Oh yeah, to pay to get an attraction love I can't even talk. Potion. I said, does my aura now say to get out my face or slap comes now? Yeah, I just have questions. Do they feel like they're getting it from? I'm gonna look into it because I ain't gonna ask you. I'm gonna see what's going on because I'll keep on asking questions. Well, more specifically, tachyon is the violation or the trespassing of God's word, meaning darkness as literally a source of energy. Really? And is this what they believe as well? Like they knowingly say we are trespassing? Because, they will. They absolutely will. Meaning darkness. Because I know there's one religion that believes that the darkness was here before everything. They literally praise the darkness. So yeah, I'm just wondering if all this ties in together. Which it probably does. It usually does. I just got 25 new ones. They did great the first week. Last 2 nights, they have refused to go in the coop at 8:30 like the others. I might have to lock them in for a week to train them to go out at night. That's funny. So do they know? Wait, do they know each other? I guess I'm wondering why just them are not going in. That's funny. I'm speaking of this energy. Wait. I'm speaking of this energy. Some anime and comic books talk about this very loosely. Yeah. Anime is heavy demonic. And my husband was even telling me that Adventure Time is very demonic as well, very occultic. And it's not a show that I watch. I have watched a few episodes, but um he was telling me they even have a wizard and all kinds of stuff. I was like, what? Is there any cartoon that's not that way? Ladies, nope, got that good energy. Let him leave you with some. Okay, wingman. Hmm. I think another clue, if you have good energy, is when random strangers start up a conversation with you. Okay. Okay. But I guess I'm wondering, okay, okay. So when I think of, see, I understand energy from a different, I guess from a scientific perspective where energy equals light. Um and mass, I guess. So I guess it all ties. Let me stop asking questions. I need to read. I need to read more. um but yeah, they also say if animals take to you as well. So I mean, I don't know if it's true. The Force in Star Wars is based on that Star Wars is the most occultic series ever made. Well, I know that now, seeing as though the guy, the creator of it was admitting that most of the episodes are based off his ideology. And he's got things that tie in there that, oof. Next time someone's watching it, I'll have to watch more closely to what they're talking about. No, they didn't say it outright. but it's similar to the energy source we use as electricity, but in reverse. Think of negative to positive motion of electrons created electricity current. Mm. I mean, yeah, no. Mm. Life to death or positive to negative creates the movement of tachyon energy that creates a current. And see that would be another question I have though when people say and I'm not trying to talk down, but when people say sending positive thoughts, like what does that mean? What do you mean you're sending positive thoughts? Like how do you send it? Birds have little brains. There's tricks to train them that are hilarious. The new ones probably are having a hard time adjusting to the new environment. I'll get it figured out in the next few days. Yeah, that's cool. Can't have 25 chickens rebelling, not doing what they're supposed to do. I used to leave a flashlight in the coop at 8 p.m. I'd walk it out there, and by 8:30, they all went in and took the light out after a week. They got on schedule for a few years. Now 8:30 comes and they go in. Oh, wow. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting. So you use the light energy into your body to heal you, just like what you read earlier about it. Mm, like I met a lady that did light energy work, and she even showed me her little briefcase with her tools in it, but I didn't get a chance to go into depth about it because I was there at work. But yeah, again, like I said, I'm gonna have to read because I need to connect some dots. It's true. Star Wars is into occultism very heavy. It does have some decent messages behind it. I mean, well, the guy literally admitted that he loves the devil or he believes in the devil and that he had been with him for a long time. So I feel like that just goes to show where this stuff comes from. This manifesting stuff makes me laugh. I watched a chick try to manifest something. It looked like all she manifested was a short. Oh, it was a short. Oh, because she made some weird facial expressions. I actually saw on a podcast the other day that this girl was trying to sorry, this girl was trying to explain what manifesting was. And matter of fact, it was actually a debate with Andrew Wilson. And what the way she described it just literally sounded like a plan. Like if you say, I want to be a doctor when I grow up, and then you actually put the steps in to be a doctor, you go to school, you study real hard, you pass your test, all that good stuff. That was so-called manifesting. And he was like, that just sounds like a plan to me. So where does that, so what, I mean, they make it like it's just this like this supernatural thing. Okay, so the actual definition of manifest, the way that I guess who is this? Oxford describes it, clear or obvious to the eye or mind, and as a verb, display or show a quality or feeling by one's actions or appearance to demonstrate. See, that's what I'm saying. It just sounds like I don't see how, I guess I don't see how they're making it like it's, yeah, like it's something supernatural. I mean, I guess it is because it's a thought or idea. But if you go through the steps to bring it to pass, That's nothing special. That's how we all get things done. So I guess, I mean, to me, it just sounds like motivation to do something. Yeah, I guess. You said, have y'all seen the movie Chicken Run? My favorite childhood movie. Can watch out. I actually have not. Never seen it. Mm-mm. It's using your own spirit energy to heal your body. It's transmutation or alchemy of sorts. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so then I guess my next issue with that is, and I'm not, yeah, I know you're not saying that that's what you believe, but okay, so if I think bad thoughts, right? Just like how we talked earlier, how you might not have you might feel devalued because you don't have enough money or whatever. How then if you're just all you're doing is self-reflecting, 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 you're just going inside yourself to understand who you are. How then do you turn that into something positive? Like if all I'm doing is meditating on, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if my question just made sense, but if I like to take people out off this earth, like, kill them or whatever, and all I do is self-reflect on killing people, how do I get out of the thought of killing people? I guess is a better analogy. Like that's why we're told that we have to renew our mind again. We have to be born again because we're able to think evil. We're able to think wickedness and do wickedness. So what we're renewing our mind on is the ways of righteousness and the ways of wisdom. So it doesn't make sense that I would keep on going inside myself if myself can do good and evil. Does that make sense? I would need to go to a different source, a source that is all good, all righteous, all, in order to learn that and then renew my mind with that. They say red light heals the body. Okay. Let me see why. Let me see. Why does red light heal the body? Okay, so red light therapy or RLT is a treatment that uses low levels of red light to reportedly improve your skin's appearance. I don't know if this is the same thing you're speaking of, but like reducing wrinkles, scars, redness, acne. It also is touted as treating other medical issues. Okay. They've only done a small bit of research on it. It's also called low level laser light therapy. Low level laser, okay. Low level therapy, non thermal, LED light, all that good stuff. Okay, so get to the point where how does it heal? Oops. NASA was involved in it, y'all. NASA originally began experimenting with red light therapy on plant growth in space and then to help heal wounds in astronauts. How in the hell were the astronauts getting hurt? Like many developments, other potential uses began to be investigated. Okay, but you're not telling me why. Okay, here it goes. Red light therapy is thought to work by acting on the power plant in your body cells called mitochondria, With more energy, other cells can do their work more efficiently, doing things like repairing skin, boosting new cell growth, and enhancing skin rejuvenation. More specifically, certain cells absorb light wavelengths and are stimulated to work. Did that help y'all understand why it why it helps, why it works? It didn't help me. It didn't help me at all. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you guys have some insight on that. I have to read into this more. I don't want to hold y'all being quiet. I'm over here being quiet trying to read. Um, yeah, I just need to know why. What's the science? What is the science? I can't watch any of them without picking out the symbolism. Has anyone read the book The Franklin Cover Up by John W. DeCamp? If not, I recommend it. It sheds light on a lot. Mm. I mean, what? Let me see what it's about. I've never heard of it. The Franklin, or have I? The Franklin Cover Up. Oh, no, I hadn't heard of this. The Franklin Cover Up: Child Abuse, Satanism, and Murder in Nebraska. The shutdown of Omaha, Nebraska's Franklin Community Federal Credit Union, raided by the federal agencies in 1988. What? They be doing too much. They do way too much. It's all they are always into some mess. And how did they get into? How did they get tied to the bank? Yeah, no, I hadn't heard this. I'm not surprised though. They're always able to cover up. Um, they're always able to cover up Satanism. Have y'all heard about the story of the three boys? I believe that they were in California, but they were three young boys, probably about the age of 8, and then they were murdered by some teenage boys, three teenage boys, and then Johnny Depp, of all people, advocated to get them off, and he got them off, and they got off too. They like covering stuff up, and of course, the boys were into Satanism, but. Mm-mm. And speaking of sacrifices, y'all, I just found a clip I posted, but I just found a clip of this guy warning us once again that not only is Halloween coming up and they are grabbing up people for the sacrifices, but he also admitted that they grab up the homeless people and hold them until it's time. Don't y'all be out on them streets. Don't y'all be out on them streets. These people are not playing. Ouroboros, something has to die or be sacrificed, even your own humanity or consciousness. Mm. Yeah, he was a. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that soon. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that soon. Said I barely watch TV and movies because of that. I always pick out the symbolism. The last movie I saw was The Equalizer 2 in theaters. That was a good movie. That was a great movie. A little, but not really. Sorry, I'm not sure what that was the answer to. I'm all late. Um, it's all super occultic today, like music. I tried the red light stuff once. All it did was make me get on an hour nap. No huge health benefit noticed. People swear by it. Yeah, I just need to know why red. I just got a lot of questions. Because isn't red the lowest wavelength? So what? Hold on. Wait, red lowest. Oh, no, I lied. Okay, red light has the longest wavelength. Mm. I don't even know why I asked that because I wouldn't even know what it means in regards to us. Oh my, oh my. Yeah, it's the same stuff going on in DC. It speaks about. Guess what happened to the reporter? Oh, I'm guessing they got taken up out of here. Was he? Let me see. John W. I didn't look up his actual um biography. Oh, he died in 2017. They actually don't have too much on this guy. So in 1992, DeCamp wrote a book titled The Franklin Cover Up Child Abuse, Satanism, and Murder in Nebraska, in which he alleged that the Franklin child prostitution ring allegations was not a hoax. As the grand jury dutied with the investigation, these allegations concluded, and alleged that the FBI and local Nebraska officials participated in the cover up. I believe it. He was featured in an unaired 1993 documentary titled Conspiracy of Silence, produced by Yorkshire Television for the Discovery Channel. Uh-oh. The Discovery Channel withdrew their report for the film shortly before its broadcast date and was never aired on television. Mm-mm. He died. Well, they said he died of Alzheimer's. But you never know with these people because they know how to do some weird stuff. Mm, totally agree with you, Cam. I believe it. Have you seen those YouTube videos of whole homeless communities going missing? Yeah, a lot of people that were commenting on the post about it were saying that their neighborhoods used to be heavily populated with the homeless, and now they're gone. And you know what's funny? Remember how we talked about a few weeks ago, how they're trying to lock up. They claim that you no longer can be homeless, or else you're going to be put in jail. We would never know if those people are put in jail or not. And wait, what jail are they talking about? Because the guy said that they hold the homeless until the 31st. They could be, it could be some double entendre, for real, and them actually holding these people in quote unquote prison, quote unquote jail, waiting for the time. So yeah, I did hear that these streets are being cleaned up. Wow, this is not good. And his main obviously the main purpose of grabbing up the homeless is because nobody is going to be missing them. So sad. Agreed. Then people are not playing. Don't worry about Halloween. I will cosplay as a secret agent. They won't tell the difference. Yeah. Mm-mm. I was saying a little bit, not really to the red light conversation. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna look into it and I will post the findings because now I'm interested. Blue purple light is extremely bad for you. The brain, especially specifically, ask why all these town street lights have now switched to those colors. You know, haven't seen DeAndre in here in a while, but he actually shared with me this video, this clip, and it does look real. I don't know, but there were these creatures that were coming out at night. And so the neighborhoods were putting out purple lights because that was the only thing that was keeping them away. On some, like the movie Pitch Black, where when you're in the night, that's when they get you. That's kind of what it was. And so they would have to keep these lights on in order, to not be attacked. And the guy, I might still have it in my DMs, but the guy scanned this dark field, right? With the light, and you just see all these creatures in the field. It was real. If it's real, it's scary. And so I actually, I like to show you guys things as I'm riding around. I actually seen some neighbors with some purple lights. Now I don't know if that's what they were hiding from because I don't see nothing like that out here. But just imagine in the boondocks where it's a lot of field and the hell. I mean, sorry, heck no, heck no. So I wonder. But yeah, I do know that they say the blue light's bad for you. They even have a little feature on your phone where you can turn the blue light off. Well, I know my last phone had it. I'm trying to look at it now. I don't know if maybe they just called the eye shield now on my phone, but I know on my other phone it had literally blue light, like you could turn it off. He said he was defamed for that, and some say a convenient death. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Of course. Oh, he had a disease that nobody knew he had. Like, no, no. He was talking too much. Y'all took him out. They don't want that info out. I know someone who worked from home. Oh, for Homeland Security, she claimed that they are the biggest traffickers. Yeah, yeah. I feel like we should know that by now. By the way, they had those kids in cages. That new movie Weapons is wild. It's basically showing people, teaching people how to mess around with witchcraft or how to put spells on people. I just seen it yesterday. I was disappointed and feeling some type of way. And see, we were wondering. I know I had talked about watching it. I haven't seen it, but okay. So the plot is. So I thought the plot was all the kids go out of the house all at the same time and they disappear. So how in the heck did the witchcraft get in it? Were they leaving the house to go practice witchcraft? Cam the King, I don't know. Don't follow the little people into the woods. Okay. I won't. I can't. I won't. I can't see myself following anyone into the woods. Not a one. Mm-mm. My favorite lie of theirs is when someone starts spreading truth, gets off and has 3 holes in the back, yeah, of their head, and they say it was self-inflicted. Right. And so, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, okay. No, it's one of the kids' sick aunt doing it. Oh, okay. Oh. Mm-mm. I feel like it's always somebody close by. Always somebody close by. I guess, y'all. Just it's just not safe. It's just not safe. And even the ancients knew it back in the day that it wasn't safe. They even would put pieces of fat, they would put pieces of fat and burn it in the jack-o'-lanterns. There were so many different ways um that they would try to keep these demons away during Halloween, but yeah, they would burn that fat on the porch in the jack-o'-lantern, and that was kind of a sign that you were down. Because the whole basis, if I haven't said this before, I think I put it in the Halloween video, but if you haven't seen it, the whole basis for trick or treat was that they would come and they would knock on your door and they would ask you trick or treat. And to be honest, I don't even know if it mattered whether you said trick or treat or not, but you had to give up the firstborn child, or the one that was the most I don't want to say successful, but I guess is what I'm trying to say. The big dog in the family. You had to you had to put them up for the sacrifice. And if you refused to give up that one, then by the time the dawn came, they would come and take out the whole family in the house. So, I mean, everything associated with Halloween is demonic. Even down to the bobbing for apples. Obviously, I've told you guys about the dressing up and the reason why they dressed up, because the time of Halloween is when they believe is the thinnest veil between us here in reality and them in the spiritual world. And so they felt like the ghouls and the goblins came out around that time. So they would dress up to look like these demons so that the demons wouldn't bother them. That's what the whole dressing up thing is about. So I know that we've normalized it, and I used to dress up like, what did I used to be? I think I was Jasmine one year. I think I was a cheerleader one year. It seems like it's all fun and games, but that's the reason why they did it. Trick or treat. Yeah, it does. It really does. It really do be the people close by. They're normalizing witchcraft. Yeah, they're doing a really good job of it. I'll say that. A really, really good job of it. I think they even had because I mentioned Erica Badu earlier. I think they even have an interview of her where she's comparing her witchcraft to Beyonce's witchcraft. And she's like, "Nah, I ain't that type of witch." She thinks she's not that type of witch, but she claims that she's not the type of witch as Beyonce. Beyonce is a lot more powerful than her and a lot more darker than her. Sorry, it's dinner time. See you later. No problem. Thank you so much for showing up and contributing. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, and not the evil part of our heart. Not the evil part. Pagans love this time of year. Yeah. And the crazy, it's not even. See, they have festivals and things that they celebrate all year round, but Halloween is their most powerful. And this is stuff that you can get. This is information you can get from actual witches. This is not just something, oh, we think because, we believe in God. No, these are coming from the mouth of witches. If you want to be creeped out, go look at Halloween pictures of costumes of people in the early 1900s before 1930. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. I definitely have to check that out. Um, because again, they actually dressed up as ghouls and goblins. Now we can be anything. Yeah, it's not good, y'all. Not good. And out here, shoot, the Day of the Dead is really well, they have a couple holidays honoring the dead here. Who- That sounds. Halloween should be a national day of prayer to combat the spiritual war being waged. If we could all get together and do that, I think that would be a great idea. But too many churches have bought into the lie that they can turn. I don't know why I just said water into wine in my head. They feel like they can turn darkness into light. They can turn evil into good. They're trying so much to fit into the world. I know the church that if I do attend, I would go there. I would say that was my church home. Hallelujah night is what they have. But it's the same thing. The kids dress up, go there, get candy, bob for apples. They do this. They do the same exact thing. They just do it in church, of all places. When I was a kid, one of my friends and me got invited to this lady's house a few days after Halloween. She started telling us how she practiced magic and was a light witch. We broke for the hills. Mm-mm. I was gonna say, no, what all was going to. I mean, I think you wrote it right because because even Aleister Crowley spells magic with a K, and I want to say it might be a slight difference between the magic with a C and magic with a K, but even still. Oh, I'm looking at some of these Halloween costumes. Oh my goodness. No. I would no, no, no. Yeah, that's creepy. Heck no, that's way too creepy. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I couldn't be out there with them. I think I would literally be scared if I saw that one of those things in the dark. I don't know. With me and my friend, we're thinking going to some random lady's house. I don't know either, but mm-mm. Oh yeah, I know. Autocorrect be trying to dupe us. It's all good. Um, I want to say at least she told y'all she was a witch instead of just doing whatever she might have been planning on doing. What do you mean? Can we see you? Crowley has a quote where he says, "All magic is just conjuring of spirits to do work for you." Yeah, I thought I thought that's what they all believed. Even the white witches and the light witches and the dark witches, they all it's the same thing. But most of them think that if they just act like a fairy in the forest, then it's not a big deal. But they're still worshiping, the trees and all that other stuff that can't even think or do anything for them. He supposedly spent 3 decades doing to complete one ritual. Yeah, we gotta dive. I know we touch on Aleister Crowley every now and then, but we really, really gotta do a deep dive into him. I guess I might be dreading it a little bit because I know it's dark and he's a nasty, nasty, nasty individual. He dubbed himself the Beast 666. He felt like you had to do everything imaginable just to be able to conjure up the magic that he was into. And I know Sierra thinks I forgot, but I haven't forgot about her. I haven't forgot about putting her business on here about her rocking a whole outfit that said the Order of the Golden Dawn. And I'm talking about Sierra the singer. The one who's acting like she's just this Christian wife and blah blah blah. I mean, she repented and I hope that she has. But Aleister Crowley created the Order of the Golden Temple. He believed in eating feces and drinking urine and kids doing, all kinds of stuff in order to conjure that magic. So what must she be into? And she had a whole song with Justin Timberlake called Love, Sex, and Magic. And what's one of the deep components about Aleister Crowley magic? Sex magic. So, and then look at Justin Timberlake now. He going crazy. He can't even get his footwork together. They better leave the devil alone. Crowley is, or I know, right? Crowley is the occult's Michael Jordan of basketball. Yeah. Yep. Crowley, Drake Parsons, and the founder of Scientology were all great friends. Isn't that sus? Yep. I mean, birds of a feather flock together. You saying Crowley was drinking that Red Bull for the Bulls nuts? That's what he said. He said that he had to go and do the darkest things imaginable to be able to do it, to conjure his magic. Sierra and Chris Brown need a whole deep dive. Okay, I'm gonna make note of that. I will definitely make note of that, and we can do it. Put that on the list. Because, yeah, I know we talk about Chris Brown and his occult stuff, but I just think Sierra flies right under the radar because how she, Cam the King, because of how she's marketing herself. They use Christianity as a marketing ploy. Yep. Because they know that people will easily or not easily flock. They know that people either quickly denounce it as soon as you say Christianity, or they know that people will embrace it as quickly as soon as you say it. So it's a. I think Russell Wilson had to sacrifice some stuff to get where he's at too. So they both probably satanic. See, I don't know him outside of her and football, so um, you never know. His was a drawing of lamb looks identical to a gray alien. Who's his drawing of what? Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what that is. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'll be glad to, you know me, I'll get in these people's business. Chris Brown was always super feminine and gay to me. No heterosexual dances like that. I guess I don't know. I can't say that I come from an era where men danced. I come from an era where freaking and dancing like that, it was the norm, and nobody was getting down with the get down. So I guess I have a difference, he's just very talented dancer. I can't take that away from him. From dancer to dancer, I can't take that away from him. Oh, is that okay? Let me look up. I feel like I might have seen it before, but oh yeah, it looks like he looks like a gray alien, and he looks like the big head scientist. That the um is it the Muslims believe in? Which makes me believe that they actually see these creatures. Yaqub, yeah, the Nation of Islam. Except for their version of the is black. That's the only difference. Just a big old head. Yeah, these people. Sorry, I got sidetracked from what I was going to say, but it's all good. I come from an era where it was gay to be gay, not 2025 standard. I mean, yeah, that part, but yeah, no, dancing was, man, everybody danced. And popping, not like the pop lock popping, but popping. All the guys did that. And you got freaked down in the club. Just saying. But yeah. Mm-mm. Any other videos we should do dives on? What Y'all probably like, girl, you haven't done Hollow Earth. I still know the videos that I haven't done. I know I still have to do Hollow Earth, but I would love the list that y'all had me do the last time. I just went through them and knocked them all out. So feel free to let me know what you would like to see. I'm gonna go ahead and get on off of here from tonight. I'm gonna actually eat me a little dinner as well, or more dinner because I've already had dinner. I'm gonna eat me a little bit more, and then I'm gonna go to bed. The Cotton Eye Joe was the hottest. Oh no, not the Cotton Eye Joe. That was a square dance when I was growing up. We did that in the school gym. The Young Thug and Mason hip hop rappers used to boost their police budgets via false flag crime rates. I mean, yeah. Are you saying that you want one on Young Thug? Oh, okay. Yeah. Are you saying, or are you just making a statement? Okay. Electrogravitics and electromagnetics. Anything in particular that you need delved into, or just an overarching? video, which I don't mind. I just want to make sure that if you do have some type of questions or whatever, um, I get them answered. You said, "How old are you, sir?" That was on Just Dance video game for me. Yeah, no, that used to be a little country dance. Something is going on with these school shooters. Well, what do you think it is? Because one, they continue to be trans, supposedly trans. Like the last few shooters have been trans. And then you have, they keep on targeting the schools, specifically the ones who claim to be Christian schools, whether it be Catholic or Christian. And they keep targeting these babies. And then the man claimed that he was mad at his mama. Now, I'm not advocating for nobody to be taken up off this earth like that. If if you're innocent, if you're just a mass killer, I don't really care. But why wouldn't you go after her? Why did you go after these children? You know why I think they go after children? They're, I just think it's the same way that Herod went after the children who were 2 and under in Jesus's time, because they were trying to make sure they snuffed out his lineage so that he wouldn't be born. Now, I don't know if the demons know that he's not coming back like that this time or what, but yeah. And again, I showed y'all the what does mental illness do? I mean, sorry, not even mental illness. When you're introducing female hormones unnaturally into the male body, and vice versa, when you're feeding male hormones into the female body, it causes aggression. When you do not tame your aggression, your anger, it leads to violence. And so we have a bunch of unstable people running around because they have the wrong hormones in their body. You trying to be Susan when you're really Steven. And that's not who you were created to be. Want one, but I could also pitch in on the research. Of course, absolutely. I'm always welcome. Listen, no, you know you're a big contributor. So I welcome all knowledge. If I've missed your email, please forgive me. And they're telling me that my email, they don't even want to send me any more email. I got to clean it out. But I feel like I keep doing that and it just keeps piling up. But of course, you can always, you know where to reach me. You can always hit me on the Patreon or in the email. Both of those explain the UFO phenomenon. Mm. Well, how do you mean? When you say they both explain the phenomenon? I think a lot of them encouraged by the 3-letter agencies and series. Is a series? I know that I want to do one on Miss Schaefer, the lady that exposed CPS. I mean, I have a lot of topics that I like to cover, that I would like to cover, but That's definitely one that's been on my heart. Because they consumed with darkness and want to kill the light. Exactly. Yep. The same medications they give violent male sex offenders in prison to castrate them, they prescribed these trainees to cross over. Think about the rewiring of their brain. Yeah, exactly. And if you, because I don't think you lose the urge when you're castrated, do you? Or maybe you do. I guess that's the point of it. I guess that's the point of it. Okay, so with castration, it reduces the sexual desire, or significantly. It says significantly, so that doesn't mean it fully does it, because it removes the primary source of testosterone, the hormone responsible for sex drive. However, yep, see, I just said that. However, the urge to have sex is often not completely eliminated. So you know what happened? You know what I just thought of right when you said that? Is I was thinking about that man with his doggone dog. Like if you sorry, I don't even remember right now how I tied it to that, but I did. It's just crazy. Too much. Too much. I think school shooters be under a trance, and the quote unquote the government or the CIA having them do those men do them wait sorry do sorry I can't read, having them do that, those men don't be looking right in their mugshots. Okay, I know what you're saying. Yes, and it could very well be, because again, what do they do once they carry out the task? They take themselves out of here. And what MK Ultra um did that? What MK Ultra program? The Delta program did that. Those were the ones who, once they carried out their task, they killed themselves. So I agree. I agree. And they do look straight crazy. Um, you should do a video on super soldiers. Yeah. Well, let me see if I got more to add to that, because in that MK Ultra video, I mean, it's pretty much what it was talking about. But you know what I was thinking? I was thinking of my video, the elites are drinking the achrome, because I talked about Max. Sorry, y'all, I cannot remember his last name right at the moment, but Max, he was a super soldier, and he spoke a lot about the tunnels, and he said that the walls were actually, man, y'all have to watch it. He said the walls had this black blood filled in them. Oh man, it was some crazy stuff. And he actually, when he died, when they killed him off, he was actually vomiting black blood. But they took that, they wouldn't let me. That's on Patreon. That's an exclusive on Patreon. They wouldn't let me post it here. But yeah, he was a super soldier, and he was, what is his name? Max. I want to say it starts with an S. His last name. I'm trying to grab it, y'all, before Max. I have to go back and watch my own video because I don't remember his last name, but he definitely dropped a lot of knowledge. Maybe I'll put some of the information in a short. Okay, Tiffany, right? Have you ever seen the videos of serial killers saying they were guided to do it through agencies? I haven't even seen that. I've been MIA on my own channel. Gee, I'll be back strong with the heat. That's crazy, yeah. Electrogravitics and electromagnetics explains how gravity, time, and mass can be controlled and altered. It explains how time travel works. You can go forward, but not backward. Mm. Yeah, I've heard them put that together. So yeah, we'll do it. We'll do another video on that. Okay, y'all, last few. If pre-workout will have people running through the walls, imagine all the hormones soaking in your body. Yeah. Mm-mm. We're just made. Yeah, there's some people whose hormones are off, but for the majority, yeah, the majority of us, our home, I can't talk. Our hormones are working how they're supposed to be working. And so again, introducing extra hormones that are not meant for you into the body, just not good. And they know this, it's in the science. They know this stuff. But yet they want to push you to push it and make you feel bad for saying no, they shouldn't. No, they shouldn't be allowed to do that. And I hate when people say, well, I don't care if it's the kids. I mean, leave the kids out of it. Adults can do what they want. I don't. Well, the adults are the ones that are going crazy, killing people. So why the hell would we allow them to do it, even if they are grown? Like, I get it, autonomy, but they are taking people out of here because they're mentally unstable because of what is being put in their bodies. We've got to do better. Oh, well, he'll commit suicide. Well, guess what? Better him, better him or her than for them to go and take out these babies like they've been doing. Like, be for real. They already have patents on electrogravitics and electromagnetics. They say we mastered gravity before 1950. There's tons of evidence suggesting that. Yeah. I didn't believe in mind control until I lived near one of the largest military bases in the nation, and the local stories were terrifying. Yeah, I don't. And to think they just be doing it right under our noses, y'all. He said, "Wait, huh? I'm gonna go back and watch that on Patreon." Yes, you got to. It's probably like the very first video. No, not even probably. It's the very first video on Patreon. So you got to go back a little bit, but yes. Before I could even refresh my computer, they had already taken it down. Does anyone remember the enhanced boxer they made a super soldier? Basically, he was 10 times the muscular system as a normal man. People broke hands, arms punching him. He was undefeated and benched like 850. I feel like I vaguely do. And that is a scary thought because they can make a bunch of those. They can make as many as they want to. But they're going to have to. I mean, they're going to have to. All of these so-called monsters and stuff that we see, all of this tech that we see, even the MK Ultra victims, they're going to all use them against the people of God. And again, hey, and against the people that are straddling the fence, to be honest. You might not think that you might think you're exempt because you haven't picked a side, but there's only two sides. The Battle of Armageddon is only going to have two sides. It's going to be God's side and Satan's side. There has been many black projects on super soldiers. Yeah, we'll have to do a dive. I'll grab it. Put that on the list. This sounds like the tachyon thing I was talking about. Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to definitely dive back into that. Electrogravitics and electromagnetics also explains how there's no G-force in UFOs, so the driver won't die while making those crazy moves going side to side, up and down at thousands of miles per hour. Okay, well, good, because I was really wondering how in the heck, if they were going to space, how at that fast of it, at the speed that they must go in order to break through um yeah. Mm-mm. How do they survive? The Discovery Channel has a documentary about making UFOs before World War II and how they used to fly like crap and then they worked things out. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, go look at my video down in the dumps with Britney Spears. I'll show you pictures of UFOs in the middle in the deep ground. See, I can't talk. In the dumps. I'll show you the spacecraft that they have down there that they house down there. I think it even shows the bunkers where they have it all filled with food. Matter of fact, I mean, obviously, I want you to watch the die. I want you to watch the video because it brings it all together. But you can DuckDuckGo the pictures, and they'll show you the spacecraft that they have. Skull to voice technology is crazy, and the sound weapons they now have. I was in a crowd that got dispersed by those sound cannons. Felt like my insides were being microwaved. Yeah, they're. I think they're definitely testing them overseas, and then they'll be sure to bring them here. Let's see. The government also have patents on scalar waves, yet they claim it's a theory. A theory. Yeah, they'll stay it until they actually start using it um, on a mass level. Do I think that Cat Williams sacrificed his friend? Um, I'll be honest, I didn't really get a chance to look into the story. I think they're trying to say that he was nowhere around. Um, but I know there's still questions as to why his bodyguard was shooting people. So I'll have to look into it and then I'll give you my answer. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. I got to figure out what it's all about. And I know that Corey Holcomb had said some stuff too, and I don't know if y'all check out Corey Holcomb, but he knows some things. He knows some things sometimes, or not even sometimes. He be knowing some things. So I definitely want to listen to his take on it as well, and then I'll come back. Um, hold on, let me skip this one real quick. I think it was at one of Cat Williams' houses. That's what I heard when I initially heard the story, but I've looked it up since then. Just as far as the news or whatever, I haven't seen that it was at his house. And does he have a house in Mississippi? I don't know. I have to look into it. I told you about a friend who works for a big military contractor. He said there's no green alien men in the sky. That's our tech. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, I don't think that they are in the sky. I think they're under the ground. That's where people were seeing them at. That's where they got into a fight with them at. So I don't think that they're using the technology that they taught our military to create. I just think that, you know, yeah, I don't think they're using the technology that they taught us to create. I think they're here to just teach, and then they'll be here for the fight. You said you check on Corey's content once a week. Yeah, I see it. There's a lot of channels that cover, that do reaction videos to his stuff. So I get to shoot. That scared the heck out of me. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Um, Man, it made me lose my train of thought. But anyways, yes, I enjoy Corey. I think Cat Williams is a psyop, especially after seeing the symbolism in his chain and interviews. He's not for the people spreading truth. I think I have mixed feelings about that. I don't think he's trying to be on the bad side. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen him throw up no devil horns or nothing like that. I just think he's into a religion he that's not the one true God. Like, he'll say God and whatever, but I just think, because most people don't think that 5%ers are, there's nothing wrong with it because they're not doing anything openly demonic. And they're all about wealth and Black community and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. I wonder why they're all hiding. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to get tied to it. I don't know. Do you really think disclosure will happen? I don't. Maybe not on a grand scale. I think what we should have realized by now is the mainstream media is not the one that's going to give you the truth on the news. They've showed us time and time again that Project Mockingbird is in full effect and that they are all given a script to read off the verbatim, all these networks, and gotta really get the truth from, these independent agencies. These people that are actually getting on the ground, pulling these records, pulling this information again, I wish they would stop that. The story that I was talking about earlier about the radioactive oatmeal, these people had to literally write and get these documents declassified. And they said that there's still some that they haven't heard back about, even though they're supposed to do it within a particular time frame because of the law. I think it's within the month, 30 days, but they said it's been like 3 months and they haven't heard anything. So you got to go to these independent agencies. There's a lot of them. They're putting their life on the line to bring us this information. Yeah, I'd really just, and then you can do your research from there. Because what they're going to tell you is it's a conspiracy theory. And they're going to make it seem like you have a tinfoil hat on. And, Japan admitted there was aliens like 5 years ago. Again, they all do. They all do. I put him and Kanye on the same level. They'll expose something, but then jump off the deep end on some weird-ish. I guess I'm mixed about that. I feel like for sure Kanye has been cloned, or he's definitely had to visit the rehab centers, the quote unquote rehab centers where they reprogram you. And by reprogram, I mean take you through those MK Ultra stuff. You've seen, again, if you haven't seen the video is up right here on YouTube. I'm sorry they took down the uncensored. I had some serious information. I had some crazy information in there. I was dropping some big names and they took it down, but the one that's here on YouTube has more than enough information. It's called MK Ultra. You'll see it. It's the MK Ultra video. But yeah. Okay, y'all. Whatever they tell us will be the half truth or a full lie. Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, be careful. Well, they can't control the independent news channels all popping up for the ones that speak the truth. They get a lot of support from people. Exactly. The statistics on who watches the mainstream news today is low. Exactly. So, Kanye, big mistakes, was talking about the people they hold so much power in America and the government, especially, they don't tolerate that. Exactly. So you got to get reprogrammed. And sometimes they're able to break their programming. That's why they have to have handlers around them, to watch their moves at all times. So yeah. With that being said, I'm going to call it a night. Again, thank you so much for those of you who join the live, who come in and just, you're just here and you're supporting. Thank you so much for watching the videos. Thank you to those who support on the Patreon, and just thank you. Just thank you for being a nerd with me. I really appreciate the company. So until next time, I will see y'all soon. Bye for now.